Okay, so I think let's begin. For those who are not here, we've got the recording and so forth, but let's start. So, hi everyone, welcome to our Power Hour. The Power is a new bi-weekly learning series which is designed for an exclusive group of SysAid customers like yourselves. Each 1 hour Zoom session is hosted live by myself. I'm Cindy Civan. I'm SysAid's Director of Customer Success, and I'm here to bring you some expert tips, best practices, and live Q&A to help you level up your SysAid experience. So just a little bit about myself. I've been at SysAid for just on 8 years now exactly. I started off in the professional services team for the first 4 years, and then I've moved into the customer success team. It's been an incredible journey because it's been so nice to see how the company's grown over the last few years, especially these last 2 years or so. And yeah, that's just little bit about me. But before we start and move a little bit forward, I'd like to introduce you to my incredible team. You can see we've got Sarah, Asaf, Tanya, David, and Gavin. Please, this is my incredible team, and thank you guys for joining today. And before I even talk a little bit more about my incredible team and chat moderators as well, I would like to introduce our guest speakers from SysAid today, and that is Tanvi Malik. Tanvi is our SysAid's Product Marketing Manager, and Oded Moshe, who is our VP of Strategic Partnerships. And they'll be taking you on a deep dive into how our latest innovations, including the Lansweeper integration, can elevate your asset management and IT operations. So Oded and Tanvi, thank you for joining.
Of course, happy to be here, Cindy. Thank you for having us.
Likewise.
Thank you, Oded and Tanvi. Okay, so moving on. Today is let's just talk about the agenda. So today is your chance to gain practical knowledge of asset management. You're going to see how our advanced discovery solution, which is powered by Lansweeper, will help turn your asset data into an actionable game plan for smarter service management. So our goal today is to have you walk away with the knowledge to help you create a single trusted view of your IT assets, which is going to in turn help you resolve incidents faster and help you make smarter decisions with reliable data. So just a little bit of housekeeping. Please feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section at any time. You can also type in the webinar chat. My team will assist in answering them. I will also try and get to them during the session. And if at any time you'd like to set up a meeting with my team, please feel free to book a meeting by selecting the link in the chat. And Ella or Sarah, would you mind please just adding this to the chat now? And everyone will have access to book a meeting. And I'm also going to be adding some polls during the session as well. So I'd appreciate your feedback. And seriously, I know there's quite a few on the call today. Please, I would love the engagement. If you want to send hearts and emojis and whatever you want to send, feel free to send hearts and emojis. And we're here for you. We're going to try and get to answers in the chat. And with regards to our polls, I'd appreciate all of your feedback. So before I have Tanvi, before I turn over to Tanvi, I should say, this is our first poll. Ella, if you would like to launch it. I have a question for all of you. How do you currently track IT assets and provide service to your users? Here is the poll. You should all have access to it and you should all be seeing it. I would love your feedback, and we'll keep the poll going for a minute or two. And how do you currently track IT assets? Okay, so I see that some of you, I know you're you're all still probably adding in, but some of you are tracking manually. A a lot of you are using a standalone asset management tool. And I see Joswald has said hi, which is great. And a lot of you are using SysAid's asset discovery tool, but some of you don't have a formal tracking system. Okay, so Peter, thank you. Truly using a combination of all three. Amazing. Keep typing away. Your feedback is essential for us. And I guess we can end the poll. Thanks, Ella. Okay, so if we, Tanvi, let's begin. I would like to invite you to join me and if you could just provide a quick introduction before you start, and then it's over to you.
Yeah, for sure, Cindy. Hi, everyone. I'm really happy to be here and really nice to see all of you here. It's exciting to see so much interest with this new solution that we are now offering. So a little bit about myself. I'm Tanvi Malik. I'm a product marketing manager here at SysAid, and I specifically focus on asset management and software license management as within SysAid, alongside all of the other things that are randomly thrown onto my plate. But yes, that's just a little bit about myself.
Thanks, Tanvi. Okay, great.
Okay, awesome. So let's get started. Before we jump into the solution and what this exactly means, I would just like to give you an understanding of what is the gap right now, or what is the need? What was the need for us to introduce such a solution? So just think of ITSM as the front end of IT support, handling requests, fixing issues, and keeping operations smooth. But IT asset management is the back-end intelligence that powers ITSM. So without IT asset management, IT teams are working with incomplete information or outdated asset data, and eventually this would lead to longer resolution times or security risks and compliance issues. So it's almost like running a help desk with blindfolds on. So here are some of the use cases. Let me take you through some of the use cases, Cindy. Yeah, thank you. So for example, my laptop is running too slow when we're talking about the hardwares. My computer is stuck, or for example, I need to connect my laptop to two screens. How do I do that? And with respect to the hardware issues that teams may face, how do I connect to the VPN? I'm getting an error code when I'm trying to open a Word document. Or how do I print how do I print to the marketing printer? So these are just a few of day-to-day issues that teams may run into, and this is exactly what we're trying to resolve. These are just like some low-level issues that you could possibly resonate with. Let's move on to the next slide.
So Tanvi, I just wanted to mention something before we actually go into the details, because I know we're going to go through a lot of the IT pain points. I wanted to share, and I'm not sure if this will resonate with some of you that are on the call today, is that over the years, I had many customers complaining about the same thing. When service records were submitted, it would take them ages, hours, sometimes even days, just to figure out what device they are using, whether it was still under warranty or even if it had an antivirus installed. And the biggest headache was that asset discovery wasn't automated. And that was a lot of the issues that I came across over the last few years. I don't know if that resonates with anyone. You're welcome to even respond in the chat. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. So Tanvi, I guess you're going to go into the other pain points that you've discovered as well.
That's right. Yes. So some of the common customer pain points that we discovered, aside from the ones that you mentioned, Cindy, specifically the asset management, the first one would be the main, or the biggest one would be limited asset visibility, where IT teams can't see all of their assets. They have very limited visibility into all of their assets, meaning there are a lot of blind spots, there are compliance issues. There is also slow incident resolution because IT teams lack real-time data. There's security risks from outdated or untracked assets. And then there's high IT costs due to underutilized or redundant assets. Now, some companies use separate ITSM and IT asset management systems, which can lead to a disconnect in the workflows. So that's another one of the pain points that we've come across. And of course, having only surface level data, which doesn't really resolve deeper issues like understanding, for example, understanding interdependencies between assets or which assets are connected to each other. This causes a lot of issues in decision making, resource allocation, etc. Moving on, let's start with understanding what the built-in system within SysAid is at the moment, our basic asset discovery. So it's a great foundation. It does the job for scanning user devices like laptops, workstations, mostly using agents. But when it comes to servers, network gear, or anything outside Windows, there are some gaps here and there. For example, VMware isn't picked up, network layout isn't shown, and there isn't enough visibility, or there's close to no visibility into cloud setups like Amazon Web Services or Azure. So teams often feel like they're working with just a part of the picture, not the entire picture. So that is where advanced discovery comes in. Yeah. So advanced discovery with SysAid powered by Lansweeper. So this is what helps you with full visibility across all your IT assets, no matter the OS or the device or the location. You don't even need to install agents unless you want to. So what I mean to say is there is an option to install agents and there is an agentless option. It picks up vulnerabilities, tracks warranty dates, and maps your entire network, including VMware, Citrix, and cloud platforms like Amazon Web Services, Azure, and Google. So basically, nothing gets missed. All of your assets across your entire IT landscape are recognized and discovered.
So
moving on. Yes,
do you mind
sorry.
sorry to interrupt you?
Yeah.
Before we get on to the next slide, where we're going to obviously look at the differences between the two, I would actually like to launch our next poll. If you don't mind, Ella, if we can launch it. The poll that we're launching right now, the question is, what is the biggest challenge with IT asset management and with your IT asset management today? What is your biggest challenge? Is it lack of visibility into all assets? Keeping asset data accurate and up to date? Manual processes are slowing you down? And compliance and security risks. So it's not a surprise where so far there's 83% of all of you are choosing keeping asset data accurate and up to date. That's one of the biggest issues that you're experiencing. And of course, next is compliance. And then lack of visibility into all assets, which is really interesting. While you're all just continuing to complete this poll, I wanted to actually share an example of a customer that I actually had in the healthcare industry that was using SysAid's basic asset discovery, and they were actually having a bit of a challenging time to keep track of all of their devices, especially the remote ones and some of the newer IoT equipment. Oded, Moshe, what's IoT? We discussed it today. I don't know if any of you know what IoT is. I learned it today.
And for Internet of Things, anything connected to the network, which isn't a standard operating system that we know in our day-to-day. You know, it could be a clock-in machine. It could be a gate that opens automatically with an NFC, anything which is connected to the network, which is not your traditional IT.
Thanks, Oded. Thank you. So I got to a point with this customer where they didn't even know what was on their network, and it made it so much harder for them to respond quickly when something went wrong, and also that it also raised some security risks since they couldn't see changes or issues in real time. So, Tanvi, back to you.
Thanks, Cindy. Okay, so let's move on to the differentiation in the feature. So I gave you an idea of what the difference looks like from an overall perspective, like a higher perspective. But if you look closely into the comparison or the features, it's pretty clear if you look at this table. The basic discovery is limited. It's great for a starting point, but it doesn't really scale. With advanced discovery, you get things like agentless scanning, like I mentioned previously, automatic warranty tracking, and a full coverage of all devices and cloud, even OT and IoT devices, IoT that we just spoke of. And it also finds new assets passively. So if a device joins your network, it's picked up immediately. I'm not going to run through all of the features. I'm sure that's pretty clear based on the table. Do you have anything to share, Cindy, or can I introduce our official product?
Yeah, go for it. Introduce, and then I'll do before we go over to Oded, then I will do another poll. But go for it, Tanvi.
Okay, great. All right. So, so this is where all of it connects, and this is how all of it connects. So Lansweeper essentially pulls in all of the enriched asset data, and SysAid ties it into your tickets and processes. So when someone submits an issue, you already have the full background on the device. What is it? What is the device? What's installed? When was it last seen? And more. Much more than that. It means faster fixes, fewer surprises, quicker resolution times, and of course, all of this would eventually lead to better decision making. Let's quickly talk about the features. So with SysAid's advanced IT asset management, you get complete visibility, like we've discussed earlier, full asset visibility or comprehensive asset visibility across Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, all of it in one place with detailed insights. So just like a recap, Lansweeper is what pulls in the data, and all of this is provided within your SysAid platform itself. Discovery is automated and always up to date, helping your teams move faster and work smarter, again, like we discussed previously. It's secure by design, SOC 2 compliant with enterprise-grade protections. Setup takes about an hour. It's not too long. It's quite seamless. You also get AI-powered insights from SysAid Copilot to catch any issues early. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to be proactive. We're trying to help you be proactive instead of reactive, instead of realizing that there is an issue already in place or there's a crisis already in place that you need to resolve. Instead of that, we highlight these issues to you beforehand so that you can optimize your performance, so you can improve, you can streamline operations. And for security conscious teams, credentials are stored locally in an on-prem vault, not in the cloud, giving you full control and complete peace of mind. So that's just a quick overview of the advanced discovery solution. And I hope this was helpful in understanding what the difference between our basic solution and the advanced discovery solution is.
Absolutely, Tanvi. Thank you so much for sharing all of this. This is a lot of information to unpack. And so now, I guess, Tanvi, we've showed everyone how amazing it is, or we've said how amazing it is. Now Oded's going to actually walk us through on the actual live demo. Before we do the live demo, I do want to launch my next poll, and the question for the next poll, please, Ella, is how many assets do you have? Is it 0 to 999, 1,000, in the 1,000 bracket? And thank you all for taking part in these polls. And I see a lot of questions that are being asked in the chat. And Jose, thank you. I see you asking lots of questions. And Philip and Jason and George, we're going to get to all of them. And if we don't, we will obviously come back to you post the Power Hour. Okay, so it looks like the majority of all of you have got 0 the poll's still going, but 0 to 1,000 assets. And then the next is 1,000 to 2,999, and then coming in third place is the 3,000 to 10,000 assets. Okay, so thank you all for responding. And if anyone else wants to respond, that's it. The poll's closed. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. And Tanvi, thank you so much once again. I appreciate you joining, and I'm excited now to hand you over to Oded, who will start with the live demo.
Everyone, happy to have you here today. And let's jump right into SysAid. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few things. First of all, I'm going to show you some of the value that Tanvi mentioned before, and also Cindy talked about. Let's say I pick up a ticket. Okay, in this case, I pick up 5129. I have an associated asset, the ticket. If I want to see the information on the asset, I can simply click this and see all the information on the asset, what the make it is, if there's a serial number, the information on the vendor. I can see if it's under warranty. I can see a detailed list of the hardware and all the software installed. I can go through all of this list, including seeing recent activity on things that changed on this asset. Okay, for example, something changed here today, actually. Let's see. So there was a software product that was added and removed. Okay, so that's an example of an activity that was automatically registered. Let's take a look at another activity here. Software product, Microsoft 365 for Business, upgraded from minor version this to minor version that. So this can help troubleshoot, automatically detected once you have the asset management in place. But also under the service desk, you can see all the history of the incidents, changes, problems, and requests surrounding that asset. So if you're troubleshooting an issue, you can see historical issues on this specific asset. It can help you solve the problems, maybe, and of course, it helps AI solve the problems of having all this knowledge surrounding the asset. So that's one aspect of having the information, is having that information inside the ticket. You can also, by the way, ask our AI about that. If you go ahead and say, what OS does the user's laptop run? Instead of going inside the screen, fetching the information, our AI platform has access to all the information, understands what you want, and here you got the information. User's laptop runs Windows 10 Enterprise Professional. Great. What software is installed? So I can continue asking questions, and all this information that the Advanced Discovery collects is available for me troubleshooting, and I can ask specific questions. And here I get a list. Here I ask for all the software that's installed, so I'm getting the full list. But if I'm after a specific software, a specific question, I can ask away, and I have an immediate helper right here. So that's one aspect of the things. Let me show you another aspect. If I go to change management, now all you guys do changes in your environments. I don't know if you track the changes in SysAid. It's best practice. You should track the changes for auditing purposes, to reduce risks and so on, and to know what's going on, to let the teams notify them that you're performing different changes in your environment. And let me pick up a firewall upgrade. I'm sure you all do firewall upgrades. You probably follow a process by analyzing it, getting approval, implementing, releasing, and closing it, and capturing all that information and approvals and audit controls that reduce risks. But what I want to show you now here is, besides having a record of a change on the firewall, once you connect again the firewall here to the main CI here, so you have a history of all the changes that are going to take place or took place on an asset. So when somebody comes in Monday morning and something doesn't work, and they have some kind of a hunch that something was upgraded over the weekend, you don't have to guess. You just go into the change management module, and you see what CIs or assets were they were scheduled change. And if you want to even see a view of them, you can go and see the details on the asset and get a visual indication of what that change affected or impacted. In this case, it's a firewall connected to a switch, connected to a few locations. This is a demo environment, so maybe it doesn't make real sense as a network, but this is just an example to illustrate that it shows you all that information, and the oranges mean they're open changes on those elements, and a red means there's something wrong with that asset, which is being monitored. So it helps you troubleshoot, helps you get a bigger picture, and helps you keep your teams updated regarding what's going on in their environment. So we had the CMDB. Take a look at the information. We had the change management process, okay, in order to make sure that we have proper audit and track the changes. And we had the making sure everybody's on the same page regarding changes taking place. Simply taking a look at our change schedule here, we can see any open changes pending approval, the ones that were already done. If there were any changes that were already performed, we can take a look here. There was a change that was closed here, upgrade the Cisco switch. So, okay, when was this done? Let's go inside. Let's see the details. It helps troubleshoot that information. And of course, by the way, you can also ask questions. I don't know if we have any are there any upcoming changes planned this weekend on network equipment? So I can just simply ask the question, and again, it'll go through the changes. It'll try and detect anything I asked for. So this specific in this specific case, okay, there was no changes detected. Let me go and show you now some of the setup for Lansweeper. So
Oded, sorry,
I'll pause for
stop you?
questions. Yeah, sure.
I just wanted to say one thing, and maybe just as one or two questions. I just wanted to mention that this is only for cloud. It's only for cloud customers. If you are on this call and you're on premise, amazing. I think it's a great time to move to the cloud. And this works in Spaces and in our classic version. So you're seeing the experience in Spaces, but you're going to have the same experience in our classic version as well. So I just wanted to mention that. And then just one or two questions to see how would this work if we monitor several companies and their networks. Oded, is that something you can answer now?
Sure.
Thank you. And
sure.
then there's another question after that.
So again, regarding different networks, so you can edit, you can install. We'll talk about that in the setup of the Lansweeper in the second part of my presentation. You actually, if it's one company with subnets, you can install one scanner and then it can scan all the networks. If you have separate networks, you need a scanner in each network. And that scanner takes care of scanning that specific network and uploading all that information to a central repository where you can then see all the information in SysAid. What's the second question?
Oded. And the second question, I'm not sure if it's a question you want to answer now, but what is the difference with SysAid integration with Lansweeper and Intune? Can Intune do the same?
Okay.
That is Amir. Thank you.
So yeah, I'll answer that. We have an integration, a direct integration with Intune, basic integration that brings in the asset management information. Lansweeper has a more extensive, advanced integration with Intune, which brings additional information, more information regarding the software installed, and more information to Lansweeper. Once it's imported to Lansweeper, that will be imported into SysAid. So you can go both ways. You can directly integrate with Intune for the basic information, just like in our basic offering, or you could go through Lansweeper and into Intune and bring more detailed and comprehensive information into your asset management repository.
Thanks, Oded. Amazing. Thank you. And then someone said separate Lansweeper licensing and SysAid or licensed through SysAid. Peter.
So it works both ways. If you already own Lansweeper licenses, you can set up the integration. We partnered a strategic partnership with Lansweeper. We teamed up with them, and we have a bundled offer that we offer you the Lansweeper license to be purchased by us with the integration and the setup and implementation for it. So either way.
Thanks, Oded. Okay, let's move on. Thank you. Great questions, everyone. Keep them coming.
Okay, I think I'm going to switch back to my presentation because I have a few slides I'd like to take you through. Here we go. So I'm going to take you through. Can you see my screen now? Integrations?
Yes.
Great. So basically, how do you get all this up and running and what is needed? The purpose of these next few slides is just to fast forward you through the setup process just to know what you're up against and what you need, what team members you need to do this, and so on, and what the process looks like. So basically what you need to do is set up a Lansweeper account. If you own Lansweeper, you just need to access, make sure that you have a Lansweeper Pro Cloud account or it's linked to your cloud account. If you don't, simply set up a new account on their website, okay, and you create an API token. You go to our marketplace and you take the add-on. It's from within the product. I'll show it to you in a second. And you just click on the Lansweeper and you get it. You enter the API token that you created here, and that's it. Your data synced once a day. The data from Lansweeper will automatically be synced into SysAid. Okay. Any existing assets that you may have manually or scanned by SysAid or a SysAid agent or even Intune, doesn't really matter. Lansweeper will enrich the existing assets with additional information that it discovered, and it discovers additional information like warranty information, purchase information, and more. And assets that don't exist will be created, and the fields will be automatically mapped to SysAid fields. This is what it looks like in the marketplace. You simply go to the marketplace inside the product under integrations marketplace, and then simply locate the Lansweeper add-on. It's not in beta anymore, so you'll see the slide is not up to date. You click it, and then you go ahead and click Get It. And what it does, it adds it to your installation automatically. You'll find it under My Apps here. You'll click the cogwheel under Lansweeper, and you'll get to this screen. Now, at the moment, the most important part of this screen is the setup instructions. Once you click the setup instructions, it gives you the detailed information I just showed you, the 4 steps you need to go through to end up entering the token here. Once you enter the token here and you sync it, your assets will come once a day. You can even import a sample to check it. I promise to give you a fast forward on what the process looks like. So steps for setting up Lansweeper, okay? In less than 20 minutes, I've done it with a couple of dozen of customers. Really, most customers, it takes up to 20 minutes. Sometimes when you need credentials or security or slow internet, it takes a bit more. But within less than an hour, I was able to do it with all customers that were on the call. Maybe 1 or 2 customers, they had to have a second call because they needed approval from their security team for specific parts. It looks like this. This is the Lansweeper website where you open up your trial. You just fill in your information, and then you download the scanner. This needs to be installed inside your network. It can be installed on your RDS machine, on your laptop if you're testing it out, as long as it's inside the network, and it has access to as many devices and subnets that you want. So it's a 250 or 300 mega installation. You download it in a simple installation process. It takes you through 2 steps of installing. Pre-request checks. If everything goes okay, you're good. It might tell you need to upgrade the Windows patch because it doesn't have a .NET installed or whatever, but it's quite friendly and it tells you what's missing. If you're up to date on a regular Windows server, so there's no problem. You can install it on a Linux machine if you want. Default is Windows. There's instructions how to do that. And once you finish installing it, this installation is already linked to the cloud account that you set up in the first step. You don't have to remember all what I'm showing you. This is just for purpose of showing you the high level. The next thing you do is you log into your Lansweeper account. You'll get an empty dashboard because nothing's discovered yet, but the scanning already started. And it uses a credential-free scanning mechanism, and it'll start populating your Lansweeper trial account with assets. It'll start working and populating them. The next thing you want to do is help it out by entering credentials, because credential-free scanning can get you so far in detecting the assets, but you probably want to go deeper. You want to understand what's the serial numbers, what's the warranty dates, what's the operating system, the software. In order to do that, you need to give credentials, whether it's Windows credentials, as you can see here, domain admins for accessing, whether it's SNMP for your network, SSH for other Linux machines or Macs. And if you have, again, vCenter or VMware or Citrix, you can also enter that information, and it will connect to the API and pull all that information in. So once you enter all that information, it'll enrich the data. You can also go inside. You don't need to, but it'll automatically scan the networks it detects. If you want to adjust the ranges or add more ranges, you can go in and add that manually. And at the end of the day, you get the scan running. This is creating the API token. It's just 2 steps. You click on the create API token, you give it a token, you copy this, and you paste it in here, and you're good to go. You can leave it empty. This will pull all the information it finds from Lansweeper to SysAid. If you want to filter and say, I only want to Windows machines, or I don't want to bring routers or printers, you can create a filter here. There's in our documentation, it says how to set up that filter. You check box the scheduled, activate, and save it. If you have any issues, it'll tell it, it'll say them here, and that's it. Your assets are synced in SysAid. Within a few minutes, you'll see hundreds of assets coming in, depending on, most of you said up to 1,000. So within a few minutes, less than an hour, you'll have 1,000 assets here available to do all the nice stuff I just showed you with SysAid. If you want to take a look at what it looks like from a product perspective in Lansweeper. So this is what a full dashboard looks like, okay? With information, assets discovered, software discovered. If you take a look at the assets, you can see a list of the assets here. You can see the different type of assets it discovered: servers, laptops, Linux, switches, okay? Wi-Fi extenders, virtual machines, all that. If I take a look at, let's take a look at something, a switch, okay? It discovered a Juniper switch here. You can see here the information it discovered here. If I go inside, this is a deep discovery of the switch because we gave it credentials. So not only discovered a high level of switch, but it also went and pulled information like the operating system and the end of life, or the life cycle of which is still available. But the hardware here is, they're not selling it anymore, and it's going to go out of support. Okay, we got time until 2027. So it pulls this information from the vendor, and in case of a switch, it goes even deeper and pulls information regarding the ports on the switch, what's connected to each port, and so on. And if we pull up a regular asset, let me just show you. Let's pull up a regular asset and show you. A regular asset can pull up. Here's the information. All this information is pulled into SysAid. You can see information on the asset. You can see the warranty end date, like I mentioned before. You can see here information on the warranty service, if it's 1 year service, extended service, and so on, even monitors it's connected to. And it detects vulnerabilities on the asset. So if we'll take a look at the asset details, besides having the software on the asset, all the software installed, we also have vulnerabilities. So because it knows all the software installed, it can cross-check that against known CVEs and give a risk score for that asset, and in general for your assets in your IT estate. Okay, I'm going to pause here. There's a lot to show. I'm going to go back to you, Cindy, for questions in slide deck. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had a question for you, Oded. So let's just say, for example, because warranty is always a thing. We always want to know when the warranty is up, right? So it obviously brings in that information from Lansweeper into SysAid. So in the reminders section in SysAid, could we actually set up a reminder? Will those reminders work for the assets?
Yes,
okay.
They will. Because it's mapped to the original warranty date, there's no problem. I think it's built in. So any warranty expiration coming up 9, 10, 20 days before, you can set up it'll open up a ticket for you, or send you an email. That's exactly part of the power of putting asset management and service management together, where you can tie the dots and use our robust workflow engines and task managements to perform that renewal task or decommission. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. And it's actually quite quick and easy. I don't know if you've got access to it on your test account nowadays, but I think it's quite nice to actually show everyone. We've still got a little bit of time. And if anyone's got any questions, please feel free to put your questions in the chat. But I would like, Oded, if you can, if we can show everyone, that would be fantastic.
Show the reminders?
The reminder, yeah, where they would find the reminder.
Sure. So if you go back to SysAid, and again, under settings, I don't remember where it is, so I'll just ask for the reminders. Here we go. Automations, reminder. Under reminders, here you can see asset warranty. Everybody has this out of the box. So it's 30 days before. Once you get Lansweeper, this will start working for you. It'll open up a ticket for you. And here you can see 30 days before. You can edit this because it's based on asset warranty expiration date 30 days before. If you want to see the actual email that it opens, take a look at the reminder notifications, and this is the default ticket that's opened. Okay, so it says the following date is approaching. Please take the necessary actions, and you'll get the information on that asset. And you can then map it to a different specific category that you'd like. or a specific admin group, and you can fit that to fit your needs, so you don't lose any important process for opening up a reminder to renew the warranty, or maybe pick up that device. Maybe you want to decommission it. So that's also something you can automate.
Thanks, Oded. Thank you. I'm sorry I put you on the spot there, though.
No, that's okay.
Okay, so we do have 1 or 2 questions. From Peter. Peter asked if TeamViewer still remains accessible.
So TeamViewer has 2 modes of, that's our advanced remote control offering. It has 2 modes of operations. One is sending a one-time link, which doesn't require anything pre-installed. That's not related. It still works. That's fine. In order to use the TeamViewer host, where you want to have something installed on the machine, you need to have our agent, which takes care of deploying the TeamViewer host. So because the TeamViewer remote control requires to manage host on the devices you're remote controlling, our agent takes care of it. So that's not related to the Lansweeper scan.
Okay, thanks, Oded. And thank you, Peter, for the question. And Steve, can those reminders be utilized to warn of expiring certificates on a device?
So if you're able to map the expire certificate information to a date field, then yes. I'm not sure if that can be done, because I didn't see any expiry day information coming in from Lansweeper. But if it can be mapped to a date field, then yes. If not, maybe it can be manipulated to a date field with some PS magic. And once it's in a date field, let me just show you that again. Let me share my screen again. Once it's in a date field, because SysAid is robust on that matter, so all the asset date fields, see custom date 1, custom date 2, they're here, so you can actually create use this custom date for certificate expire and set up the same exact idea.
Amazing. Thank you, Oded, and thank you, Steve, for your question. And Norman, can a reminder be done for an assist once it reaches a certain age? Or I think you meant an asset. Can a reminder be done for an asset once it reaches a certain age? So I guess maybe let's just say, for example, I think if Norman's saying if an asset is 4 years old, can you set a reminder to say, okay, we need to speak to Joe Soap because we need to give him a nice new Apple laptop? I don't know.
So there's 2 ways to do that. One way is to go under lifecycle here. Under the dashboard, you can go to the lifecycle and see here what's the end of life, or make a report by age. If you want to automate that, our automations work on dates in the future, and purchase date is in the past. So what I would probably set up some kind of automation rule or built-in rule saying purchase date, pickup date is purchase date plus 4 years, 3 years, whatever your policy is, and then set up a reminder on that. So again, a little bit magic is needed behind the scenes to set that future date based on your setup, and then you can automate that.
Thanks, Oded. Okay, and I see another question. We've still got a bit of time. With Lansweeper discovering new assets, would you then also need to make sure your asset license amount is also reflecting that same amount? Say we have 750 asset licenses and Discovery pulls in additional 250, I would have to upgrade my amount of licensed assets, right?
So I'll get that question, because we partnered with Lansweeper, and if you purchase it separately, then the answer is yes. You need to have the corresponding amounts. But once you purchase the bundle from us, we take care of it. Once you have 2,000 or 1,000 advanced asset licenses, it covers both. So you're not in a situation where you have more assets discovered in Lansweeper that you can import into SysAid. The only way you would do that, if you would go on your own or have your own Lansweeper license, then you need to match the amount of SysAid licenses versus Lansweeper licenses. But again, once it's bundled, it's bundled. It's an advanced license. It's a single license, so you're covered.
Thank you. And then I know there was an anonymous attendee who asked what the major difference is between asset tracking in SysAid and Lansweeper. What we will do is we'll actually share the slide deck with you. And of course, we'll share the recording so that you can actually see the differences between SysAid and SysAid Asset Discovery powered by Lansweeper. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen just once more. And I hope you can all see my screen right. So, of course, what's in it for you? So we have a limited offer, and this is for any customer that has advanced discovery up to 1,000 devices. The price is going to be $3,200. This is only for up to 1,000 devices, and I know that there were some customers who do have more than 1,000 devices. If this is the case, then it would be a good idea to book a meeting, and I'm going to, I guess, share the next poll, which is going to be, would you like your account manager or CSM to contact you? So if we can launch the last poll, please, Ella. And if you'd like us or one of my team members to contact you, please let me know, or just put it in the poll here, which would be great. So for up to 1,000 devices, it's $3,200. And I think this is something specifically where we've worked really hard with Lansweeper to get a really good offer, because we had a lot of customers. The initial offer was for 2,000 devices and up. So we've come back from Lansweeper with a really good special. So please continue to update the poll as needed. Yeah, I guess just before we finish off, I would just obviously like to thank Oded. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to Tanvi and of course my team. And before I do drop off and thank all of you, I do want to actually just put into the chat, we do have a really, really nice power hour that I'd like to invite you all for. Our next power hour is actually a workflow session that I'm going to be doing myself, and followed by another power hour that's for BI analytics and reporting. I'm going to put the registration link into the chat. Please feel free to please register. I know from one of my previous power hours, there were a lot of customers that were asking for a session on workflows. I am going to be doing it in the classic version, not in Spaces. So if you'd like to join, please, the link is in the chat, so please feel free to join. Other than that, thank you so much for everyone. Thank you for attending. Thank you for being so engaging. And please obviously look out for our recording. And it was lovely to have you all on the Power Hour today. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Oh, I'm enjoying the hearts and the claps. Thanks, everyone.
Well done.
Yes. Amazing.
Bye.
Bye, Oded.